Hello everybody, Helen the Russian here, talking about rideshare again. So I've looked at my documents on both Lyft and Uber. I knew I have to input my fresh registration. And what do I see? Apparently there is a annual vehicle inspection is due, which is not something I knew. I do believe it was added recently, as in within last few months, because I don't believe it was there before. Maybe those of you who drove for longer can correct me, but that's all I knew. And it's not something I was told via email or text or whatnot, unless I clicked on the documents when I was trying to upload the insurance and registration. I would not have seen it. So we'll start with Uber and how my investigation started. So once I seen it, I thought, okay, well, how do I go? Because that's where I first saw it, by the way, on Uber. So I thought, okay, how do I go about getting it? So my first thought was, well, let me call support. We now have this lovely phone number for support on Uber. We can call, or they can call us back. Well, I called them so far, I think 3 times. I found it absolutely pointless, honestly. And it's my opinion. Please write in the comments if you had a different experience. It was exercise in futility. I think Uber put it there just to pacify the drivers, to make them feel like something is actually being done, someone's listening to them. Because in my case, absolutely no follow-up was done on my previous calls, and this call was really ridiculous. I was asking, it was a lady, and it's very clear to me those are outsourced call centers, meaning you're not talking to anyone in US or even in North America. I'll be honest with you, not in the continent. I think it's outsourced to the subcontinent, possibly to Philippines, somewhere in there. So I'm asking the lady, I said, look, this annual inspection, what about it? How do I go about it? So she goes, oh yeah, just a minute, pulling your account and whatnot. And then once she finally did, which took her a bit, she goes, well, there are no notes in your account about an inspection. And I go, wait. And she keeps talking because they're reading the script. And I don't know what she meant about notes, but it clearly says that I need to provide the fresh annual inspection. So, and she actually hung up on me. When I started pressing for information, she just hung up. Just like that, so pointless. So I thought, well, I need to investigate. So I Googled it, and that's when it came up. And apparently in Nevada and some other states, annual vehicle inspection required for rideshare. And I tried to figure out where do I get it, and it was with Uber was really vague. Nothing in the app itself told you where to go, how to do it. All it says when you click on it, it says take a photo, meaning they already expect you to have that inspection in your hand and take a photo of it. So, and I Googled some more, and I could see that inspection could be done at the hub, which I suspected as much, or for a fee. So at the hub for free, or for a fee at certain locations like of Riley's Auto Parts and whatnot, which is all good and well. But here is the thing. I prefer not to spend any extra money on that. As it is, as you're well aware, we not getting paid much, and I rather resent the fact that I need to spend my time, and I really don't want to spend any extra money for, my car is fine. It's exactly the same car as was a year ago. It's a new car, I don't see what needs to be inspected. But it kinda, in my opinion, the reason it was done is really, I know they're gonna say for driver safety and for passenger safety, but my opinion, if you want to know, it's to pacify the public, because on paper it looks, oh, we inspect all the vehicles every year and whatnot, and it makes it sound like they really care about safety of everybody, especially the public and whatnot. Well, we'll get to it in a minute. So once I looked at that, I started thinking, and at one point there was 2 Uber green light hubs in Las Vegas. One was out west, like way out west, really far for me. And another one was here in Green Valley by Home Depot on Sunset and Marks. Well, that one closed. I know that much because I went there. I had a question 3 months ago. I went there and it was closed. So now that I start Googling, I see that they did reopen another hub at the Boulevard Mall at the Sears Auto Service Center. Because the one out west, that's another, when I had that question, I actually drove out there one day and it was literally a madhouse. I kid you not, maybe it was a bad day I went, but there was well over 100 people in this really small type of building, and it was absolutely not feasible to spend that much of time staying in there. I mean, I could tell there would be at least couple 3 hours, and I just, even to put your name in, to even figure out what your needs are, there was a long line to do that. And so I thought, I already decided I'm not going back there for anything. They're absolutely ridiculous. But there is this new one at Sears, it appears from internet, but it also says onboarding only, meaning new drivers. And I was like, okay. So I thought, okay, I'll leave it for now. Let's investigate Lyft. Well, it is simpler with Lyft. I have to say they're more streamlined because you can do everything in app. You can click and schedule an inspection, so meaning you have a scheduled day and time, and they have plenty availability. So you pick the day and the time that suits you, and you go. And it's not, they kind of centrally located. They, those of you who know, they on Tenaya, just behind the huge shopping center on Rainbow and 215, where the Walmart, Sam's Club, Best Buy, and many other places are. So that was good. And also you can straight away download the form that they need you to fill out. So you don't need to go there and fill it there. You can do it in advance. And then you turn up. But I have to say Lyft made it more tedious as well. So I've done that. I've scheduled, I filled out the form. I come up, I said, okay, I have an appointment for an inspection. She goes, okay, that's great. Just go there on the side where inspections always were. And I knew what inspection is. Now back to that safety. They really, like a lot of people, it's all about semantics. So your general member of the public, he sees, oh, the car's been inspected, 17-point inspection or 19-point inspection, whatever, every year. In many people's mind, what pops up is, it gets looked at by a mechanic, like it gets pulled up and mechanic looks at it. Well, that's not what happens. They ask you to turn the headlights on, honk your horn. They look that your brake lights are working. They kind of look at the back seat. I don't know what they're looking, and I guess the presence of seat belt, but they literally just open the door and look. And they ask you to turn your emergency lights, and that's pretty much the extent of the inspection. And in the form, when I looked, they see if there is any damage, like visual damage to the car, but that's about it. It's not that big of an inspection, really. So I expected it to be just like my original inspection, which is what happened. I went to that side, the guy looked at it really quick, gave me a piece of paper with, where he marked pass with all these things. And I drove away. Then you just take a photo and upload it. Well, no, this time Lyft said, okay, you go down there and then you come back. I go, why? Why do I need to come back? Oh, we just kind of process it really quickly. That's what they all say. So already I resented spending my time, but I did it, of course. I was already there. So I did pass the inspection, go back into the room, and there are other people. And now they make you sign in the tablet, and then you have to wait. And then they call you in and you go, okay, you all set. And I asked the girl, I said, look, used to be they gave us a piece of paper, we took a photo and uploaded it in our good time. Oh, we're trying to cut down on the paper usage, she says. I don't believe anything these people say. I doubt it's that. I think it has to do more with other things. More with the fact that there are fake rideshare drivers and whatnot. They kind of want to make sure you're still the same person. And in my case, it was actually somewhat productive, because that's another thing that Lyft, apparently, I'm guessing they had a glitch, because my insurance was expiring on September 6th. And I always buy it prepaid in advance for 6 months. I would prepay for a year like I used to many years ago, but now they don't let you do it. So 6 months is the maximum. So last 6 months, Lyft starting sending me those messages it was like 2 months before it expired, saying your document about expired, upload and whatnot. This time it didn't. Uber did, but Lyft didn't. And, of course, I had my insurance and uploaded. And every time I went to go and upload it on Lyft, it said, no action required, despite the fact that I can see the photo of it, and it was clearly expired insurance as far as they knew. That finished on September 6th. And I didn't drive for Lyft, but I did, just so it so happens, gave one ride on Lyft this past Sunday. So Obviously, they didn't see a problem with it, or app didn't see a problem. But anyhow, now that I came to the girl, she said, okay, well, she goes, oh, can I see your insurance? I said, yeah, you can, because I did try to do something about it and it wouldn't let me. It said no action required and there was no any way for me to upload it otherwise. She goes, okay, no, that's okay, you all set. So here I'm thinking, I got this inspection, I got everything done. I'm thinking, well, surely I can use the same inspection for Uber. It's the same thing. Uber doesn't do anything different. They do the same thing. They check your brake lights. They ask you to honk your horn. They check your headlights. They look at the car kind of, and that's it. It literally takes like a minute, 60 seconds. So I took a screenshot and I uploaded it into Uber, and yeah, it didn't work out. The message came back, and it took them a while to process that one, and like, we were unable to accept your documents. So now I'm going, okay, and like I said, with Uber, you can't schedule. I tried to figure out how to schedule. I wasn't able to. So I thought today, I'll take a chance. I'll go to the one on Maryland Parkway at the Boulevard Mall and hope they will let me do the inspection. So I walk in there. It's inside Sears Automotive Center, which is it's set apart from the actual mall, from actual Sears. It's right across from Applebee's in there. So I go in. There is little Uber stand. No one's there, and the girl asked, can I do my annual inspection? She said, yeah. They ask you to fill the form on paper, so you fill out your VIN number, car model and whatnot. But then you have to go with that to the guy, the actual Sears guy, and he tells you, he goes, yeah, it'll be about 30 minutes, although there's no one around. And I was like, okay. So he goes, oh, they'll call you. The girls will call you. I go, well, can I go into the mall in the meantime? I don't really want to sit here for 30 minutes. He goes, yeah, you can. So that's kind of good, because you can, instead of just sitting and doing nothing, you can at least go and do something. So I went into the mall, and they don't call, they text, of course. I expected the call, and there was a text. So I come back, and they uploaded that form for me. So I said, well, do I need to take a photo upload? She goes, no, we're going to do it. It's all good. It's all set. So, I took my key, and it was free, and so I've done that. So here is the summary of that whole, in my opinion, honestly, I believe it's a bloody waste of time. I very much resent when companies treat our time like that. Well, clearly there is no respect. They're assuming that I do it in my spare time, for example, right? So I have a business to run, several actually, apart from that. But it's not that. Even if you do it full time, especially if you do it full time, you drive, and they all encourage you to drive at night. They don't say you must, but there are various surges and bonuses. The way they structure, they encourage you to do it at night. Well, then you need your rest. You shouldn't be wasting over an hour, because that's how long it ultimately took in both locations, with driving there, waiting for that to get done, driving back. Over an hour, wasted time for absolutely, I don't see how that inspection is useful. But like I said, I suspect it has to do more with making sure it's the same car, the same driver, doing the same thing, more than really inspecting the car. So that's my 5 cents. Those of you who didn't know, you now know. And like I said, it really annoyed me that you cannot use the inspection from one for another, because it's exactly same thing. Why wouldn't you accept it? Why do you need me to do it twice? Why do you want me to come over? It clearly listed all of those 19 points or whatever it is saying pass. It was very specific. And I'm like, all right. All right, that's that. It looks like it's finally cooling down in Las Vegas. We're gonna be from midweek. This week we're gonna be in the mid-90s. Yeehaw, no more hundreds. Everybody have a fantastic week.